What's up, with the man?
Hey man, shout out to my boy Reach the People. Darius Sanders in the building, man.
Sometimes y'all be on that bull junk, so I'm really not gonna tell you much.
Why do you continuously give negativity a microphone? Why did you give it a stage? Why did you give it admiration and adulation? Why do you give it a voice? Why do you give it a room with a comfortable mattress and a pillow and some nice sheets and blankets? Why do you allow negativity to have a say-so in your life?
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Happy Tuesday, man, to everybody out there. Y'all see what's going on, man. Y'all see who we got up here. Hey man, listen. I know we you know what I'm saying. We still got some videos that ain't never been released and been dropped. We just put a little teaser out there so y'all know we can get close. We got some footage that ain't never been released out to the public. So y'all see on the intro what's going on, man. As y'all walk in this door, please, man, please, 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 if y'all would, man, just please be respectful in the chat, man. We don't care what the conversation is going on in the chat. Just be respectful when you come in here. Otherwise, the moderators will move you around. All right, they will. They don't need for me to say nothing to them. They know what time it is. All right. But if always, man, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe as you see on the platform. Turn the notification bells on. One thing I need from y'all family, as y'all walk in the door, all right, there's a link that's pinned in the chat, and it's got Common Said It. His YouTube channel. I need y'all to go subscribe over there. Because he on the show with us every Tuesday now. All right. He on the show. So y'all might as well join the party. All right. But before we get this thing kicked off, first thing we want to go into, man, prayers to Adam Munson Tiger as he's fighting for his life right now. He's in a serious health battle right now. And just sending condolence, right? And if you've been a Buff fan, you know who Adam Munson Tiger is. He is one of the top number one guys that gets the information for game days, for recruiting, just overall. He's asking questions to Coach Prime. So man, appreciate y'all. Y'all know I don't ask y'all much, family. But if y'all could do me two things, man, just send prayers to Adam Munster Tiger and go and make sure that you follow, comment, set it, bust. So we here, man. Let's get this show rocking. Coach Dre, how you feeling?
Oh man, you know how I feel. Had a great. Well, it was busy last week. We played our spring game, which we had to kind of move around because we were supposed to play somebody else. But Gainesville had a big country concert. I forget the dude name. He a big country star. He was here 2 days. I mean, he shut the city down. I'm talking about he sold out Florida Field 2 nights in a row. So we had to move our game to Thursday because we didn't have any security. And so in Florida, in Gainesville, if you don't have, you got to pay for security for the local
Mhm.
police department to be there. So we end up having to move the game, and so things didn't work out. So we end up just playing an orange and green game, which was a great game, and we got to retire my boy number. Anthony Richardson retired his number Thursday night. What a moment for us. People said kids couldn't make it from out East Gainesville. People said that going to East Side, he was ruining his life and ruining his career. Well, all he did was go to Florida, make it, and become the number 4 pick in the draft. So it's been a great weekend. God always in the blessing business. So like you say, prayers up to Adam Mustard Tiger and his family. With his situation right now, we just want to send our most sincere prayers and hoping that he can get well and get back on covering the Buffs. What you got to say, Common? How you feel, bro?
Coming. Welcome, man. Welcome. You here every Tuesday. Welcome.
Listen, man, first of all, appreciate you guys for having me. Hopefully, I'm gonna add something to the conversation because you guys already got a good thing going. So hopefully I can keep that going in the right direction. But yeah, Tuesdays, man. Rob the Man Media, Coach Dre, Common Sense. This is gonna be fire, especially in the off season, and definitely during. We're gonna hold you down during the season, but there are some things that are more important than football, man. And health is one of those things you take for granted until you don't have it. And
Amen.
so, with what Adam is going through, man, you just never know what it's going to take for him to kind of come out the other end better, stronger. And that's what we're praying for his family so that they could be there by his side and also be comforted themselves as they go through the journey, man. But yeah, so it's great to be here. My week is always awesome, man. Like Prime says, I can have a bad moment, but never a bad day. So I try to remind myself of that every day. So being here with you fellas, man, it's a great way to end the Tuesday.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, let's get this thing kicked off. Hey, man, we got a big time commitment today. And I know we're talking about the trenches, right? And that's a popular question that we got out. Will the trenches be the deciding factor of Colorado's ceiling in 2026? And what other way to kick this Tuesday show off with a commitment today from Barack Willis out of Alabama? We've had some good luck with the state of Alabama, if you know what I mean. And the last person to rock that number 7 out of Alabama was the Shark himself. The Shark himself. So he's leaving a great legacy behind him from the state of Alabama, coming to Boulder. I'm gonna kick this thing off to Coach Dre. Then I'm gonna go to comment. Coach Dre, how do you feel about this commitment that we just got today?
Well, this was what I wanted. After a great weekend of you having 13 guys with your leader, Andre Adams there, I didn't want to go along without one of these kids saying, hey, I saw enough to say I wanted to be a Buff, and we didn't have to wait long. Again, it goes down to great recruiting by Coach Box and his staff, but also by the position coaches. You saw all the position coaches. If you saw the films this weekend, all the position coaches were there, meeting and greeting with the guys, making the guys feel comfortable. And then Coach Prime come in and seal the deal. I'm pretty sure Nike wasn't there just by coincidence. He wanted to let everybody know that that we still on board and we getting new stuff and we getting this and we getting that. So it's a great day. It's a great day. Like I say, Andre Adams is leading the charge to get these kids to come to the bus, and I won't be surprised, and I don't believe they're done this week. I think we might get a few more. So I'm just excited for these young. I'm just excited for Coach Prime, and also I'm excited because he's starting to. People, you got to start realizing that Coach Prime know what he's doing, but he's not perfect, and so he went back. He fixed his formula, and I think he got the right mix of guys in that building to make sure he can get what he needs to get. So getting this kid. And again, guys, this kid was committed to Alabama. This kid had every offer in the country. He could go anywhere. He can go anywhere he wanted to go. But he decided to commit to Colorado. So that's a big thing. That give us 4 commits right now for 2027. And I believe we got many more. Go ahead, comment. What you think, bro?
Yeah, they're taking high school recruiting serious. There was always a question about that around Colorado football, right? Coach Prime said he came in and he wanted to do a turnaround. The way he saw that, the most effective and quickest way to do that, because college football is now free agency, was to go after the transfer portal. But what seems to be, there's a little something different in the air in 2026 with the likes of Brennan Marion, true college football coach, Coach Marv, true college football coach, and a focus on high school recruiting, which I love, right? And to be able to get some of these big wins early in the recruiting cycle is going to be very, very important for momentum. And what Coach Dre was saying is about not only about the guys who are at the top, right? The Coach Primes, the Brennan Marions, the Chris Marvs, is about the position coaches, right? These are the guys who you're trusting and you're putting your career in their hands to actually develop you. And so big shout out to George Hilo. Right. And Barack Willis saying, hey, I want to play for George Hilo. I think he's a coach that could develop me. And for all intents and purposes, George Hilo is a future defensive coordinator in college. And so I love the early momentum that they have. I think this is recruit commitment number 4, right? So far, I think we got a quarterback, a corner, and then 2 defensive linemen, right? Edge, and then a defensive tackle. So that's a great start to the 2027 cycle. I like it.
So what you see is versatility. So he can play defensive end, he can play at the linebacker position. If you watch his film, but I'm gonna leave that to Common because I know he likes to do film breakdown. So I'm gonna leave that to him. But when you watch his film and you watch the reaction of getting downhill and going to go thump something and love the physicality at a point of attack, he's gonna bring you that. When you watch his film, he gets physical with offensive linemen, right? Not you see the offensive lineman on their behind versus him being pancaked on his behind. So the tape translates. He plays at a high level in Alabama. And what you love out of this right now of the structure of what we're doing in recruiting, we're building versatility. The many guys that we can get to come in and play multitude of positions, the better this team can grow because we're not stuck at one spot. Coach Dre, any more thoughts on that? All right.
Like I say, no, it's pretty much, like you say, it's just a great omen. That's what we talking about tonight, the trenches, and to get a guy on the defensive line, is big. And again, that's the spot where you're gonna need it because again, you did get a lot of guys, which we'll talk about in a minute, in the transfer portal to come in to play defensive line, and a lot of those guys are gonna leave next year. We got some NFL prospects that's going to get drafted. So you got to go ahead and start trying to fill it with young guys. And I think that is a position when you think about it on the defense right now. If you look in the secondary, we feel like we got the future in the secondary there now. You feel like you got the future of the linebackers there now. And so now you got to go fix the defensive line to go get you some young, fresh guys out there to come into Colorado. So, like I say, it's just a great time to be above. This is a great way to go into the off season. I think they got one more free week. I think the boys will have to get back to Colorado this week, and we start summer workouts. So what a way to get back and get this thing rocking and rolling and getting ready for summer workouts.
Now, Coach Dre, before we start this off season, one of the things I said, I'm gonna say this, right? One thing I said is, hey man, we don't got no youth on the line. Like we had a bunch of upperclassmen. We gotta attack that area hard. And what you're seeing right now is us attacking this area hard. But before we get into all the names in the trenches, right? There's a question that's out there. Can the trenches allow us to play in the upper echelon of the Big 12? I'm gonna kick it off to Comment first, and we're gonna come back to Coach Dre.
Yeah, I think on the offensive line, they give us a real opportunity to compete because I think this offensive line is playing well enough, and it's not just potential. I think one of the mistakes I made in 2025, I was always going off of the line's potential, right? They have the potential to be good, right? But this year, I'm more of production. And I think they have the production to be good, not just what they did where they were before, but how they're playing together as a team under Coach Gunnar White and the other 2 parts of the three-headed monster under Coach Brennan Marion, right? So I like what I see from that offensive line. I think they have a good enough unit for this team to be making some real noise late into the season and giving a lot of teams that are maybe the front runners to finish first, second, and third in the Big 12 some real problems when we play them. So, yeah, I like on the offensive side of the ball what I see. Where most of my concerns are on the defensive side of the ball, which I'm sure we'll get to, but I like what I'm seeing on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he hit it on the head. Can we compete? Yeah, no doubt. I think we can compete. Like I say, we'll get into this breakdown because, I've been doing a little homework today and just looking at what we got all the way around offensively and defensively. You feel like you say, again, sometimes we just listen The answers are being told to you. Again, you feel like up front you got 8 guys right now that's fighting to start. And the one thing you're gonna see with this breakdown tonight is that just because guys didn't start didn't mean they didn't get valid playing time. And that's one thing that I noticed going through this, looking at their stat sheets and what happened at their former places. But again, Coach Prime went out and got guys that had production. We didn't just go out. Again, I think not the second year, but I know that first year he got there, we got a lot of guys and we got them off their potential, off of what they did in practice. And, but again, that's also because we didn't have a lot to pick from, guys. We didn't have a lot to pick from. And so now when you get the even playing field and you got the guy that with the gold jacket sitting in front of your parents and things of that nature, which we discussed I discussed yesterday with Russ, that makes a big difference. That plays a big part of this, guys. I know a lot of people think that, hey, I want to go to this school because it's Alabama, or I want to go to this school because it's Florida. I want to go to this school because it's Colorado. No, it's the name in the front office. It's the name on the door. People want to go to Alabama because of Nick Saban. When Florida was Florida, they wanted to come to Florida because of Steve Spurrier, and then they fell off, and then Urban Meyer. You get what I'm saying? That's why people want to come to Florida. People want to come to Florida State because they want to play for Bobby Bowden and Mickey Andrews. Like, it's really not the name on the front of the jerseys, guys. It's really the name on the front of the door of the head coach's office and the coaches that's in that building. So I think this year we are solid up front on the offensive line. Like I said, we're gonna dig into that in a moment. But yeah, I feel good about. I feel we can compete with anybody. I don't see any, like, Utah used to be the bull of the woods, but I feel like they graduated a lot of kids. Then some kids left and went to Michigan with the former coach. So now I just don't think. And then, like I said, you always know BYU gonna have some guys up front that can block and play well. We got Houston's best offensive lineman. Just hands down, we got their best offensive lineman. So you got to feel good going into this Big 12 with what we got up front on offense. And we'll discuss what we got on defense.
We're going to stay right there on the defensive side of the ball, right? Because I think that's the biggest question, right? We got this new commit. So let's stay right here on the defensive side. What are your biggest concerns that you have with this defensive line right now?
Well, the biggest thing is, I think what people thinking are we don't have the tackles. But let's just dive into it, right? So first off, we got a guy like Kalen Salter, who was a linebacker last year. We moved him to defensive end. Last year, he played in 10 games at linebacker, showed great flashes in the spring. That's a guy that's already been on Colorado's team. Okay, then you got a guy like Quincy Wiggins, who transferred in from LSU, who's been here for 2 years. Last year, he played in 12 games. He had 6 QB hurries. He played a total of 162 snaps. And he also played 29 snaps on special teams. So that's Quincy Wiggins. Played in all 12 games last year, 12 quarterback hurries. He played 162 snaps. From where he came from, he played in 14 games, including my bad. So then you got number 52, Emmanuel, I can't pronounce his last name, that came from James Madison. He played in all 14 games, including the playoff game against Oregon. Last season, he had total 15 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 1 sack, a forced fumble. And for him, at James Madison, where James Madison went to the playoffs, played in all the games, a lot of snaps. Next, number 52, Toby Andenaway from North Dakota State, was named the Missouri Valley Conference Honor Roll. He played 4 seasons at North Dakota State. played in a total of 40 games. He had, and in 2025, he had a total of 59 total. My bad. Yeah, he had 59 total tackles, 33 unassisted tackles, 10 sacks, 10 pass deflection, 5 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. In 2020, and in 16 games, and in 2024, he played in all 16 games. They won the FCS national championship, and in the championship game, the kid had five tackles. So you're talking about a kid that has played 4 years at North Dakota State, where they produce football players, and he's been a player. That's on the defensive line side. Okay, then you get to a guy like Lamont Lester Jr., who comes from Mammoth, played in 12 games last year, 37 total tackles, 17 unassisted tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 9 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Named CAA Defensive Rookie of the Year, first team All CCA. At least 1 sack in 9 of the 12 games, which put him on the map as one of the nation's most disruptive defenders. Mid-season, he got added to the Jerry Rice Award list, which honors the best freshman in FCS football. Lamont Lester Jr., another guy that Coach Prime brought in from Mammoth. Big number 88. He's been to a couple of schools. He played in 6 games last year at Baylor, and from there, the year before that, he played at I want to say Texas A&M, and he hadn't played much. Next, you got a guy like Tyler Moore. He played at Coastal Carolina and Tennessee. Now, this is what I want you guys to look at, is that he went to Coastal Carolina from South Carolina State. Well, let me tell you what he did at South Carolina State first. At South Carolina State, he played as a true freshman. He started in all 13 games. His stats were he had 5 tackles for loss, 5 quarterback hurries, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and I didn't get his total tackle. But the next year he moved up to Coastal Carolina. He didn't see the field. But Coach Prime, again, I want to shout out what he did at Tennessee Tennessee State, because again, it showed that he went somewhere, he dominated as a true freshman, and then he left. Next is number 91, Cedric Smith. He played at Alabama A&M and Maryland. At Maryland, he played the last year. He played in 12 games, 7 tackles, 3 unassisted. But at Alabama A&M, in 11 games, he had 20 total tackles, 4 unassisted tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Again, guys, we haven't got to the big names yet, right? We haven't even got to the big names. Anything you want to add right now, Tommy?
Yeah, so I mean, but all of these guys, except for maybe Santana Hopper and let's say Quincy Wiggins in his time at Colorado, none of these guys have played Power 4 football.
Santana Hopper, hold on, let me see. It's somebody else. From what I see, all of them started off at bigger schools, and it seems to me they had to drop down. A level, like Talib's nephew. He started at Oklahoma State, but then he ended up going to Charlotte. Karma, he went to Temple, then he had to go to HCC, and then he went to not Alabama, but Albany. So it seems like they start off like they were great high school players, But then once they got to the big leagues, they didn't see the production. They went down a level. Some of them came back up, and then that's where you see. That's why I see the production. Like Harper, Santana Harper is outrageous.
I mean, Jay, when you talk about, going up a level, coming down a level, to come back up a level, it's hard to get on the field as a true freshman.
It is.
Especially in the trenches, because your body may not be developed, may not be as much as you think that you're the guy you dominate in high school basketball. It's different when you're going up against people that's older, that's bigger, that's faster, that's stronger, that's been in the collegiate game. So those parts play a big part. And so, yes, the production may line up on paper. Now can it translate collectively as a group? That's the key piece that we're trying to see. But go ahead, Common.
Yeah, no, but that's kind of my first question, right? Because if you live life long enough, you value experience, right? Because if the best predictor of future performance is past performance, right? And one of the things I really want to see from this group, and this is where coaching is going to come into play. I think these guys are going to have to get coached up to be able to come from the level that they're on and play at the level that they're at currently and get the results that we know they're able to produce. That doesn't always translate. So that's one of my first concerns, right? When I go across the line, only real power forward. Now, this is what I like about Santana Harper, right? Outside of his statistics and how he performed in 2025, coming out of the transfer portal as one of the highly touted guys. So in 2025, here are some of the teams that he played against, right? He played against Northwestern. We're going to see Northwestern this year. He played against Duke in a game that they won. He played against Ole Miss, a game that they lost. He played against, I think that's the kind of the power four teams that they really played. Outside of that, it was mostly group of five. But you get experience against a Northwestern. You get experience against a Duke. And you play Ole Miss twice in a season. You done came up against some very, very competitive guys, and you were able to hold your own, right? It's the same thing for Quincy Wiggins to a lesser extent. So what do you guys think about many of these players transferred into Colorado to get that shot? What is it that, and Coach Dre, you're a coach. What is it going to take to get these guys coming up a level to really get them to play up to the level that they're on, like an Ezra Christensen or a Samu or Quincy Wiggins or even Toby Anene? That's my first concern, the experience at this level.
Again, the biggest thing is they're hungry. I don't. Sometimes we get caught up in because it's the lesser tier, right? And I get it. It's not the cream of the crop, but if I dominated where I was, see, that's the same thing. Like I tell people all the time, everybody wants to be a chief and nobody wants to be an Indian. But to be a good chief, you had to be a great Indian. You understand me? So understand, I said if you wanted to be a good chief, you had to be a great Indian. So to be a good power four guy, you needed to dominate the FCS level or the Power 5 level, right? And so the guys that we got, when I look at their stats, they dominated where they were. They weren't just guys on the field. You get what I'm saying? Like I just said, the guy from out that went to Albany, he dominated where he was. It was unstoppable. And so what I want you to do is, I don't want you to come to me and think that you gotta lower your level of play because I want you to go out there and feel like you playing football is football at the end of the day. And and when you in them trenches, it's about man versus man. So can you whoop me or can I whoop you? And that's what it comes down to. And I think I got some guys, and I know I got a coach that's in the whooping business. They want to whoop folks. And so that's the key to what I'm got. And then you have a guy like Santana Harper who you know you can lean on. You got a guy like Chris, like Ezra, that you can lean on. Akeem Talib, He played pretty good. And then Lamont, when I didn't know that Lamont Lester played that well until I looked at his stats today, and I was just like, oh my God, this guy is for real. And so as a total, we have 15 defensive linemen. Just defensive linemen. I didn't break it down into ends, tackles. We got 15 total defensive linemen, and that's not with the guy that we got from the community college, because we got he was an end, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it's 15 guys. I think we'll get 2 more guys before this cycle is done. So I think we'll have 17 guys, and I'm okay with if most of them are ends, as long as we got 17 guys. If I got 8 D tackles, I'm good. I feel good, and so I think sometimes we just got to sit back and watch. Again, last year we thought that the defensive line was going to be the heart and soul of the team, and that just didn't happen, right? And I think it's because some of the guys, like you say, when you come from the bigger schools and you come over to a Colorado, you might not look at it the same way. And I think that's what happened. But these guys here, they're coming up from the lower level, and I think they're still hungry. They still got something to prove. I think some of the young men we went and got last year, I think they were satisfied because I've already done this. I've already played in the SEC, or I played in this conference, ACC, Big 12, Big 10 or whatever. And I think we got a little stagnant with that, and you can't get that. And that's why I think Coach Prime is constantly going out trying to find guys, because iron sharpens iron. I don't never want you to go to bed thinking that your job's safe, that you can just walk out here and, hey, it's just going to magically happen. You get what I'm saying? And
so I think really what we need is this O-line to beat up on these boys. Because on the opposite side, you do have that power 4, right? Because, okay, the only real power 4 they're going to see until the season starts is opposite them in camp, right? And I think they're going to benefit greatly from having a run-first offense to go up against with guys who have the look, the feel, and the experience of being power 4 offensive linemen. For example, on the offensive side of the ball, who I have starting left tackle is Leon Bell, right? Started for Cal. I have Yaya Atia because, again, I value experience at left guard over, let's say, a Chauncey Gooden who has potential to push him for that starting spot. Demetrius Hunter, right? I got Jose Soto starting, and I got Taj White. I mean, out of those 5 guys, Jose Soto is the only guy who's coming up a level. Taj White played at Rutgers. Demetrius Hunter played at Houston. Yaya played, of course, with Colorado, and Leon Bell played at Cal. They're going to need these guys to really put them through the ringer.
Hey, but my defensive coordinator just said one thing, and it's the only thing that matters.
It's violence. It's violence.
That's it. That's the message. It's violence. It's violence. We got to be violent.
That's what I'm saying. They gotta that offensive line gotta put these boys through the ringer. I mean, because they're about to run into a gauntlet, right? And I like the fact that that's who they have to go against every day in practice.
So with that being said, now, okay, I'm not gonna say I disagree with your offensive line, right? But let's just say that is the line. Now you still got a guy like Larry Johnson who played in 9 games, 8 starts last year. Played 400 and some snaps and only allowed 1 sack, right? You got a guy like Bo Hughley, who comes from the University of Georgia, played in 10 games, 2 starts, made his first start against the University of Alabama. You got a Phillip Houston, who had to sit out all season last year because he was recovering from an injury, coming back, who was the starter of the year before when the Colorado went 9-4, played 397 snaps. You get what I'm saying? You say you got Bell and you got Yaya. I'm with that. But you still got other guys that have that's gonna be ready. And so that's what makes me feel extra good about the offensive line. Because again, the only person I got pinned in right now as a starter is Hunter.
Yeah.
He's it. Everybody else is pencil. Everybody else can get erased. Yaya is close to being pinned in because I do value what he has done, but I just don't see an offensive line without Larry Johnson and what he brings to the table. I don't see an offensive line starting without Larry Johnson. I know Soto came in with Sac State and he knows the offense, so I like him. And Chauncey Gooden has grown up. So again, it's a lot. And then you have to remember that McFadden is blowing down some people's back. And so when you think about it, we got enough for 2 offensive lines. So you're right. That's what's gonna make our defensive line better, because even if you're not going up against our starters, you going up against our starters. And that's the best feeling to have, to know that if somebody gets hurt or if I have to take somebody out, there's no drop off going to be. And that's what we at on the offensive line. Now on the defensive line I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's a big difference when you take Harper out, when you take out Israel. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be a big difference right now. Now, 88 showed me a lot in the spring game. He really did. He made me feel very well about the way he played. But I need to see that again in fall camp. But he made me feel real well about the way that he came out and played.
So do you think our D-line can give our O-line the work? Who's giving who the work right now from what you've seen?
I think it's going to be even. It's just going to be what's the combination of the offensive and defensive line when you go out there, right? Because you do have who is going to be that core 5 when we're going to lock in and say, hey, this is that group, right? Because you got to, at some point, you got to start building chemistry to get towards Georgia Tech of who's going to be that starting 5, who's behind them, and work those differences out. There's still going to be some maturation they're going to be playing around with the first couple of practices. But by the time you get down to less than 14 days, you got to have that line locked in. And so you're going to see some combinations where the defensive line has their days. You're going to see some combinations where the offensive line have their days. As long as we're getting better 1% every day, I think we're in a good position.
I agree wholeheartedly. Again, I've always told people I want 13 offensive linemen. I've always said that in college football. I want to have 13 guys I feel comfortable with. 5 that, like I say, anywhere from 8 to 10 that I feel comfortable with as starters, and 3 guys that's quality backup. I think we're in that realm of getting where we want to be. Like I say, defensive line wise, I mean, Rob kind of hit it on the head. I think I don't want, if the offensive line is dominating the defensive line, then we're going to feel some type of way, right? If the defensive line every day is dominating the offensive line, we're going to feel some type of way. So you want to see some push. You want to see some give and take. And so the biggest thing is, I think that with kids in general, when you consistently hearing the same voices, it becomes second nature to you. So this is the second year of Gunner, Coach Dre, and Coach Hegelman. I mean, and Big George being there, being the guys constantly. And I feel everybody's got their own space. They know what kids they're coaching. They know what needs to be done. They know the strengths and the weaknesses. And I think that helps. And that gives the offensive line the edge right now, because again, they're in a room with guys that's already been there. Now we got Hunter, Bell, White, Bo just came in. Soto just came in. Those guys weren't in the room. But the one thing about Soto is Soto knows this offense, right? So that I get us giving him a thumbs, putting him ahead of certain people. But I won't be surprised if it's Larry Johnson at that other guard with Yaya, with Hunter, with Taj White, and I'm me personally, I'm up in the air between Bell and Big Bo. I'm up in the air between Bell and Big Bo right now.
At the end of the day, I just don't want anybody in a big game to have the big eyes. You
No
know
doubt.
what I'm saying?
No doubt.
I need people who've been there, who's done that, and this is gonna be something they look forward to rather than, you know, they're intimidated by that Georgia Tech crowd, man. We're gonna need nothing but people who played to bring their best game to Georgia Tech and to every game throughout the season. I don't think there's gonna be any learning on the job this season. You just can't afford it. Not with the schedule that we're playing. You're gonna have to put your best 5 against their best front 7, and you guys are gonna have to go out there and bang. So I think that the defensive line is gonna benefit a great deal from playing against this offensive line in this go-go offense. I think over time, like you said, with Coach Carter and the competition that's there between all these coaches and all these units, I think this defensive line is going to improve over time. But in terms of what I like about the defensive line, I love Santana Hopper.
No doubt.
He's not the biggest guy, right? Where you look at the measurables, but you love his motor. That's what I love the most when I watch him play. He's not afraid to take on bigger guys. He's not afraid to be a run stopper. He can get after the quarterback as well. But what I also love is his range, right? You'll see him making tackle sideline to sideline. So I love Hopper on the interior. I haven't seen a lot of film on Ezra Christensen. A lot of people seem to be pretty high on him. What do you guys think about Ezra Christensen?
Well, we'll start with Santana. He played in all 13 games last year. 31 tackles, total tackles, 17 unassisted tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 1 fumble recovery. Now, this is the kicker for me. Was second team preseason All ACC. So he wasn't even in the ACC. He had transferred from App State to Tulane, and he was second team. That's just how good they felt about him. He was second team All ACC preseason. And at the end of the year, he was Group of 5 All-American, right? He was Group of 5 All-American. In 3 seasons at App State, 26 games, 16 starts. In 2024, in 10 games, 36 total tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, with 20 quarterback pressures to make him number one in the nation. He was all Sun Belt. He was named National Defensive Player of the Week when they played against, I didn't get who they played against, but in that game, he had 3 sacks, two tackles for loss, 3 quarterback pressures. And as a freshman, he played 14 games and was second team, and he was second team all freshman, All-American. So that's what I'm saying is he's dominated everywhere he's been. There's nothing that you can say to tell me that Santana Hopper ain't a guy that I feel like he gonna drop off. Now Ezra Christensen, he's another guy. I mean, last year at his school, 42 total tackles, 21 unassisted tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 10 quarterback hurries. Named to Pro Football and Sport Network's first team All-American. Group of 5, third team All-American. First team Conference USA.
So when you look at this offense defensive line, what 2 things I want to see out of both of these groups, right? Outside of physicality, I want to see consistency and discipline. Those are the 2 areas that we become that consistent, right? Consistent blocking, consistent getting off of blocks, and discipline, not getting false starts or not jumping off sides from on the defensive side, we become a better team tremendously. Because I think over the previous years, that's one of the things that's hurt us, especially discipline on the defensive line, right? When we get into crucial situations, not making boneheaded mistakes, not hitting the quarterback late, not jumping off sides, not jumping to gaps to create big runs and big opportunities. Those are the two areas that I'm looking for on both sides of the ball for us to be well reversed at this year. Is that we're bringing this experience, but collectively as a group, we are being more consistent and we're being more disciplined. How do you guys feel about that?
Discipline is always the key. You can't. That's the one thing that when you go back and you look defensive line wise, is that we got a lot of penalties. We got a lot of offsides, personnel changes, 12 men on the field, can't get off the field, things like that. We can't hurt ourselves. We have to. That's smart football. That's just smart football. You got to feel good about what you saw this spring. Again, I didn't see anybody dominate anybody else. I saw one day if I felt like the offensive line did well, the next day I might have felt like the defensive line did well. Again, I'm going back and now watching some of the film because I got the numbers and I know who is who. So when you again, I applaud people. I want people to go back and look at that type of stuff. Get the numbers and look at the technique. Don't just look at, again, as a defensive tackle, you're not going to make a lot of plays. But what I want you to do is to clear up lanes for the linebackers to go. Again, when we were good in 94, what was our thing? The defensive line was getting pushed, and our linebackers was filling holes, making tackles, and we looked good doing that type of stuff. So that's my biggest thing is what I want to see. But like you say, discipline is definitely the key. Go ahead, Common.
Yeah, discipline and can we just tackle better? When you're in a position to make a play, can you just make the play? I mean, that'll be a huge improvement for me, right? You see guys, they'll have the guy in the backfield, miss the tackle, open field, miss the tackle, get run over. You know, I think to Rob's point, we just need to see an improvement over 2025. And I think this is a much better defensive line. I'm kind of challenging us, though, to think about the competition that they're going to be playing against. And the closest thing that they're going to see is our offensive line. So I really want to see our offensive line make these guys better and vice versa. I haven't seen enough film on Ezra Christensen to be as high on him based on my own two eyeballs, right? Because I saw more of Santana Hopper in practice. And with some of the issues that are coming up in the chat about, eligibility and stuff like that, I just want to see him be able to get into football shape and have a clear a path to actually playing, right? This kind of, he practice some of the time, not practice some of the time. It also affects, one, your conditioning, two, the number of reps you could get between now and in the season, and three, the kind of chemistry that you get to build playing next to other players. How do you guys see Ezra Christensen's development, the role that he's playing within the team, and how some of the uncertainty might impact his ability to be ready for the season when the season starts?
If you get ready, if you're already ready, you ain't got to get ready. Until somebody tells me the guy's not is ineligible, until it comes out, I'm just going to figure the guy is there. Right now, he's still on the roster. If he was not eligible, guys, they would have to take him off. And I'm telling you, I looked at the roster 20 minutes before we came on. So when you're ineligible or there's some type of question, I think they have to take you off right away because you don't want to get any penalties or don't want to get fined. So until somebody tells me that guy is ineligible, I'm going to figure he's going to play. But you're right, Common. It can get if there is some uncertainty, What you have to do is you have to get other guys ready. We had exit meetings ourselves with our young men yesterday, right? And what our head coach told our guys was, by the end of the week, I want to know your personal goals and I want to know your team goals. And so, and we just went around the room with a couple of the guys, and some of them didn't even know where to start, right? And coach say, well, the first thing is you got to be the starter, because you can't make no goal. Your first goal ought to be the starter. Because if you ain't the starter, how you can't make no personal goal, because you're gonna be standing over here with me. So that's the biggest thing, is I want everybody right now to practice like they're a starter. Get yourself prepared like you're a starter. Don't prepare like you a backup or, oh, I understand. Like I said, even with Santana Harper in front of you, hey, that I'm making him work every day. I'm letting him know that, hey man, if you slip up one time, I'm gonna be right here pushing you, ready to go. And that's what you got, and that's what builds camaraderie. And if guys run away, and in this day and age, that's what's wrong with a lot of ball players, right? Is they run away from the competition. They want to go somewhere where somebody gonna hand them something. Well, that's not gonna happen at Colorado. So you hit the nail on the head, and we've been talking about it a lot tonight. Is I feel our defensive line is gonna be better because they're gonna go against guys, quality guys, got a lot of reps, to play big time football. And that might not be what you see every week. Okay, we're gonna see that in Georgia Tech, but then you come back and you play Weber. I'm not no disrespect to those guys. You know what I'm saying? But okay, that week, but you know, you got to get ready for the guys like Texas Tech. And like I said, I think Utah has fell off a little bit. Baylor feels good about what they got up front. And so we just got to sustain and stay healthy. And that's my biggest thing. And that's why I want to, like I said, that's why I'm so big on getting more guys in, because injuries are going to happen. I saw that in the chat. You're absolutely right. Injuries are going to happen. But it's a difference from being injured and being hurt.
I think
Injured,
Yeah, no,
you
go ahead.
go ahead.
here's what I'll say.
Go ahead, Scott.
Even if he's ineligible or eligible, you still gotta go get depth pieces regardless, right? There's still people out there in the market. There's still opportunities to add to this roster. There are still people graduating. So it's like you're really not so much in a rush right now, because there are people still graduating from other schools and they still win their options. People are talking to people, right? So these players, if they find or get a snip that Ezra's not, I promise you, there's gonna be some random person that's gonna hop in the portal that you didn't think was gonna hop in the portal and gonna end up being at Colorado. That Colorado always end up adding somebody late to the puzzle every single year before they get to fall camp. It happens every year. So we don't know who that guy might be, you know. But what I would say to this, Ezra Christensen, he's preparing like he's getting ready for the season. That's what I can say. Until he ain't getting ready for the season. But you know, there's people that, you know, Colorado's got their eyes on, that they know that they're in contact with. So there is a plan B ready to go if they announce that he's not, but all for certain that the plans is that he will be a Colorado Buff and he will be playing this year. So with that being said, Common, Coach Drake.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have Coach Drake take the offensive line. Common, I'm gonna have you take the defensive line. Who do you got as your X factors for this season?
Yep.
It's hard right now just looking at the offensive line. It's a couple guys I feel like they gotta play for us to be where I want us to be. But to be honest with you, it's gotta be Chauncey Gooden, really. Because the kid, I think he has done everything you've asked him to do. I think he's shown that he's ready. He's grown from his freshman year to his sophomore year, just all the way around. And I think he can play either guard. I think he can play right or left guard. and he's pushing the star. And so as a sophomore in a room with a bunch of upperclassmen, I think he is the X factor for this offensive line. Everybody else, like you say, you know what Bell. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm gonna get from Bell. I know what I'm gonna get from White, Hughley, Hunter, Soto, all of those guys. I think because all of those guys have game tape, real game tape. I ain't talking about that practice tape or that whatever they call it that they be trying to get from colleges. I'm talking about real game tape. All those guys have game tape, and so he's the only guy with no game tape, and we're just going like Common said, we're just going off the raw potential of what we've seen this spring, and things of that nature. So for me, it would be it's going to be my guy Big Chauncey Good, for my X factor for the offensive line. Go ahead, Common.
Yeah, y'all spinning for me. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, all right. Appreciate you. So on the defensive line of the side of the ball, although I haven't seen much from them, the statistics don't lie. And I think they need this. They absolutely need this guy. This is not a nice to have. They need Ezra Christensen. And they need him to play like he played in 2025. Because here's the interesting thing is I have more study on him. All of the accolades he earned it on a 4-17. It's hard being the dog on a sorry team. Right? That means for the most part, you got to carry everybody else on the field. Right? And so, I mean, the accolades, like Coach Dre alluded to them, but over 11 games, 42 tackles, 21 solos, 6 sacks at defensive tackle, 11 tackles for loss, 10 QB hurries, and a forced fumble. So if there was ever an X factor, certainly a guy whose presence on the field right now is being questioned by eligibility, I think that's the X factor. It's the biggest, maybe not an X, but question mark. Right? Because if you got a guy that can put up those kind of numbers and end up earning first team all conference USA honors on a team that went 4-7, you know he a real dog. So right off that, I think they got to resolve his eligibility issues. They got to get this guy on the field. You cannot have that kind of production not on the field. So, yeah, my X factor on the defensive line is Ezra Christensen.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
I think that. Go ahead, Coach.
No. I agree with that. I mean that because he makes a big difference if he's there. Because right now Hopper is pinned in at that one tackle. The other tackle you pencil Ezra in, but with us with the up in the air stuff, you have to pencil him in because we don't know if he's going to be ready come. But like I say, I stay positive and believe that with the way they handing out all these other eligibilities out, they better not try us like that. They handed some out today, so I ain't gonna tell you no lie, comment. If we don't get it, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Hey.
I'm gonna be a little upset because they handing it out.
7-8 year people, 7-8 year players, like bro, how y'all still got eligibility? No, y'all played for already, but hey, it's up to the NCAA, man. Just all we say is, hey, man, we always ask for one player. We didn't ask for 30 players. We seen what y'all been blessing some other programs with. Just send the blessing back our way. That's all we have.
Yeah, big shout out to Cam Duncan. He seems pretty confident that Ezra's going to be here, and I think if there wasn't some indication that he was going to be good, they may have made some other decisions, prior to, I think somebody mentioned the NFL draft. So at least he could have a chance to get out there and try to get on the NFL team. So I think they might know something that maybe we don't know, and that's why he continues to be on this roster. But I mean, they need him, right? They need him. What y'all laughing at, man?
Oh no, Cam, that's our guy, man. If you know who Cam is, you know who Cam is. But no, it's just Shout out to Cam.
This what I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, Cam. This what I'm gonna say, Common. It's some people that's in here talking. They know what it is. So when if they're saying that it could be if he was saying that it was something to be worried about, I'd be worried. He's a guy when he say something 9 times out of 10 is right on the button. So if he was in here saying that be worried, I'd be a little worried. So I'm not worried so much. Like I say, they handing it out right now, so they sure better not pass us by. And again, I agree. I don't think that they would hold that kid back because I think that was the question last week about, hey, if he's not eligible, let him go so he can go get in the supplemental draft so he can at least go because people feel like he'll get picked up. So if you I don't think the NCAA is in the business of hurting that young man's future because again, I think him and Santana Harper have 2nd round grades right now going into the fall camp. That's just how high people are on those guys. So and then for the other guys, that will also be something to make me get up and go because I know the scouts are coming. I know they're coming to see these guys. So I want to make sure I put my name in. When they leave from here, they might be coming to see him, but I want them to leave and say, hey, man, that guy, such and such a number, he was ready to go. Like I say, I'm high on Lester, too. I ain't going to tell you guys no lie. I'm real high on Lester. I was very surprised with the numbers that I saw, and then me going back and watching some film on Lester. I'm very high on Lester right now. I really am. I like the way he plays. I like his motor. And I think Talib could be a sneaky guy as well. You get what I'm saying? I think he really can. So like I said, I like our room. 15 guys in there, and then the person that people gonna forget about, but he made a lot of noise this spring and he moved position, and that's why I said his name first, is Salter. Salter moved to defensive end, and that kid played great this spring. He really did. And so I'm pleased. I want to get him back in that weight room, get him a little stronger, maybe put on a little more weight, and let's see what he does at that defensive end.
All right, well, fellas, summer workouts about to start. So that means I think it's about under less than a week. Everybody has to be reported in. I do know that the incoming freshmen that did not play during the spring, they have to report in 6 days. So by Sunday, everybody should be back in Boulder with no issues, right? So you check in for all your medical stuff and get all that clear for summer workouts, and all the content should be back to normal, right? I know this is the hardest part of the year where there's not really a lot of content and there's a lot of questions to be answered and this, that, and the third. A lot of these answers will get resolved by next Monday. You either gonna know, you're not gonna know. So if you haven't been paying attention, right, the NCAA has been approving eligibilities because they know that some of these teams are getting ready to start their summer workouts based upon when their first game is for preparation for fall camp. Because some people fall camps start earlier than others, depending on when your first game is. So they have to make a decision. They can't just keep waiting and waiting and waiting. The waiting game is over. You got to make a decision what it's going to be, what it's not. And then you got some people still finishing up with school that may transfer because if they graduate, they got free range to transfer to anywhere they want to go once they graduate. So there's a lot of things that's going to play out over this next 2.5 weeks. But what you will see is you will start to see rosters being finalized over these next 2.5 weeks. So by the end of the month, when the page turns July 1st, you're going to probably be at the school you're going to be at. There ain't going to be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You might see somebody struggling in August for fall camp. But for the most part, the team is going to be what the team is by July 1st. All right? Any other words you guys want to comment about that?
No, I'm just ready for it to be over with. I'm just like, again, I'm just ready for it to be over with because of the simple fact is, again, this is one of the biggest things that I liked it about not having the fall portal is because right now we have a whole bunch of news going on. We'd be on every other day, man. This kid left, this kid left, I darn it. That's all it had been. And so you didn't see that this summer. And also, you build the camaraderie. Again, I love jumping on Twitter and seeing these boys working and getting together. And again, I didn't see that last season, guys. And like again, that's no knock on that's no knock on the guys that were there. But I didn't see that last year. When they went home, and they did whatever they did. Not to say they didn't get extra work in, but I see Juju Lewis doing the same thing that Shedeur did, getting his guys down here, getting to throw the ball in. I see Hunter every time I look on his thing, he's working, and I'm so happy for Cam Newton. He finally gets to get up here to Colorado. That kid has worked his butt off this offseason ever since he's been signed his letter of intent to come to Colorado. I'm happy to see him, and I'm happy to see Swain get up here and see what these young men can do. Because this is the time. This is where you got to make an impression. This is where you win football games at people. Let's not. I don't want to make no mistakes that people think that we win football games in fall camp. You win football games right now in these dog days, what we call the dog days of summer. Because this is why people don't like playing. This is why everybody don't play football. Because this is why everybody can't do this. Because it's what you sacrifice. You sacrificing the free time, not going to summer A and B because you want to stay at home and do all this other stuff, getting up in the morning, going to the stadium, lifting weights, and putting in that extra work, knowing the playbook. So when we get out here on the field, it's second nature. Because right now, most of you guys don't have a lot of academic responsibilities. Yeah. So you can get in here, get in this playbook, make sure you know what's going on, make sure you don't watch film, and you should be dialed in on Georgia Tech. And so, like I say, this is where you win football games. I'm gonna be able to tell where we're at by the time this summer workout is over with, because this is where you win football games at. It's not when we get to fall camp, you put the helmet and shoulder pads on, because most of this thing is mental.
You're going to get to tell in the first couple of days, right? Who's really been working, who ain't. Because your eating habits, your drinking habits, when you start really putting this running in, who's going to be out there throwing up? Who really took things serious and who hasn't? Right? You've seen the people that stayed in Boulder. For those who haven't, right? Pay attention. Some of the main guys, they've been chilling in.
Hey, Common. Oh, that's what I meant. I knew it was something I meant to tell Common. Well, Coach Prime answered your question Friday, whenever that was. He was on the morning run. He said Boo Carter playing Kona. I don't know what that means for your homeboy, but that's what Coach Prime said out his own mouth. He said, I'm pretty sure Boo gonna play Kona.
It's gonna be Boo Carter and Creed Thomas. That's what he got penciled in right now.
So who's gonna play the nickel?
He didn't say that. He said he loved the offensive. He said that he loved the offensive line. Boo Carter was gonna play corner because he don't know what nickel goes to the NFL and be in the first round. So he's playing outside corner. Creed Thomas on the other corner.
So all right, that's a great show all in and of itself. Who's gonna play nickel?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Now he did say he loved Mitchell, number 4 at safety.
Well, you got Mitchell. But again, I think Common Mode worried about the nickel spot. I think we know Nate and Fontenette gonna be at the safety spot. If you saying you going with Boo and you going with Creed, but again, that might mean you might move RJ inside. You got. Hey, I told you. I think it might be one of them young dogs. I just think it might be Braylon Edwards. It might be Preston Ashley. I don't know.
I just know Nate is starting because he called him Baby Shallow. So
listen. Hey, when he said I think someone asked a question and he's like, "Oh yeah, Boo. I see Boo right now at corner," and I was just like, "I know Common didn't want to hear that." I know Common didn't want to hear that for his boy England.
I don't want to hear that.
I mean, I know you did, but I mean, I don't know what that does. I don't know if that move.
It's his money. He can spend it how he wants, but I'm kind of hurt. I'm kind of hurt right now. I guess it's to be expected, right? Because I think Boo Carter has the talent to play corner. I'm not mad at it. I'm not now. I just feel like, did we open ourselves to a vulnerability? Because I felt like we had enough depth at corner where you could have a couple of guys really competing for that DB2. So the DB2 is just, well, actually, I guess it's DB1 is Boo Carter, DB2 is Creed Thomas.
Then you got RJ, you got England, and you got Vickers. But I think somebody gonna have to move to the nickel. Somebody gonna have to move
from him. I honestly, I got 26.
Yeah, basically, if you want to play, you're gonna have to play nickel.
Yeah, I got my guy 26 at third, the freshman.
Oh, so you got Braylon Edwards coming down in the box to cover slot receivers. I don't know about that.
He want to be
sure what Danny Scudero did. What did
you watch his film?
Yeah,
Tommy, you watch his film?
I watched highlights. I haven't watched like his whole game film.
So okay. Sometimes when you go to huddle, I know they have the film, but go watch I watched him in a full game. The kid is special. He is special. But again, I think Coach Prime is more thinking along the lines of, okay, I put Boo at nickel. Am I shortchanging this kid by putting him at nickel and not showing his range? Now, again, I believe you can change. I think Coach Prime believes you can turn a corner into a safety easier than a guy that's made to play corner against. So that's why I say you might see, because wasn't R.J. Johnson a safety when he came to Colorado?
When he first came to Colorado, he was at the safety spot. They didn't move him to corner.
So that is what I'm thinking. Because that's when I looked at it, I say R.J. did come to Colorado to play safety. So there's a possibility that he could play safety. So that's what I'm thinking. But again, it's gonna all work itself out. It's gonna all work itself out. But I just had to tell my dog Common that, because I know we talked about the corners last week, and I know he was one. He was gonna be disappointed if England wasn't on the field, and right now it don't look like England gonna be on the field. All I'm doing is going.
That is sad. Boy, that's a fall from grace if I ever seen one. They took. I mean, it's Boo Carter. I respect it, but so first
but
of all,
again,
you play nickel. Why they doing Eagle like this, man? They burying this man on the depth chart. Why are they doing?
No, I don't think they're gonna bury. You got to come out. Hey, again, Common, you had 15 practices. I just want to know what. I love him to death, but in those 15 practices, just go watch any show. When did anybody talk about him like that?
This man, Boo Carter, about to be playing corner, safety, nickel. Eagle about to be on the bench just looking crazy. Why they doing this man like this, man?
It's not to say he's not going to play. We're not saying he's not going to play, because I think he's going to play. I mean, Prime just said he see Boo Carter at corner. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means he's going to start him at corner. He said the man was going to play corner. And I was just like, you. I was like, okay, if Boo playing corner, you said Creed Thomas was DB1. Yeah, okay. Somebody,
like this, bro. It's going like this right now, man.
But we've been telling y'all that it's hard. That it's hard. It's gonna be hard, and it's also gonna be hard to keep them freshmen off the field. It just is. It's gonna be hard. Them kids gonna be on special team. They probably gonna be running down. They're knocking people helmets off. It's just a great. It's a great thing to have. But if I'm just in England, I make it hard for Coach Prime. If you a dog, I make it hard for Coach Prime. Ain't no way, Coach. Okay, I understand you. I understand you want Boo to but Boo gonna have to play in there at nickel, and I'm gonna play the corner because I'm a guy.
Coach Prime,
I'm gonna say this: with them freshmen, I expect our special teams to be phenomenal this year.
Right, I do. Because I believe Cam Newton gonna come in here and push.
I expect our special teams to be phenomenal this year. I don't expect to see a bunch of missed tackling, a bunch of people running away from tackling, people not wrapping up. We're gonna put some people in a medical tent this year. I'm just gonna call it right now. We're gonna put some people in medical tents. And some of our freshmen might end up putting some people in some real medical tents. Especially like Baylor, they better not come and put that little smaller guy out there with that big 4X jersey on running around. He's gonna get his head decapitated this year.
Hey, we can't play 4-2-5 no more, man, because they're gonna pick on whoever is that slot corner, bro.
What you mean?
I got to play the multiple defenses though.
Who's gonna play? Who's gonna play in the slot if Boo is gonna play corner? I have Boo on the best route runner. Because I mean, I don't know who we got.
Well, I don't. But again, this what you got to understand with the verse. That he did also say he was gonna show Boo's versatility. So what I'm thinking is, Boo gonna play the best guy, whether he the slot or he the outside. That's what I'm figuring. Whoever the best guy is on your team, if your best guy is the slot receiver, well, what I'm saying is, so okay, let's say Texas Tech. I think their best guy is the guy out wide. I don't think it's a guy that's in the slot. So that week we might see Boo at corner. But the next week we might play Baylor where they're gonna put our boy that left CU, he gonna be in the slot. I think that's his best guy. Well, do you put Draylon? Do you put Boo on Draylon in the slot? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I think he's gonna put Boo on the best guy, whether outside or inside.
He might end up traveling whoever the best receiver is.
Yeah, no,
that's one of the things that Prime
I'll say this.
That's one of the things Prime hasn't done in a while is put somebody to travel with the best receiver. So that's going to be a good sight to see if we do start doing that.
Let me do some research on Tennessee. That 2024 team, maybe they just have more elite guys on the outside. So why would they put Boo?
Because they were trying to get him on the field. Yeah. What y'all don't understand was they was trying to keep Boo happy. They were trying to get him on the field. And so was that the year that they had to do the quarterback? That was the good year. That was the year that they was pretty good, right? They made that run. Yeah, they had two guys at corner that were pretty good that year, if I'm not mistaken. I think they had two guys that were pretty good at corner. And so they just wanted to get Boo on the field.
They had to put him on the field. they have no choice.
Because Boo played corner. Boo played more. I think he might have played more corner in high school than he played safety.
They had to put Boo Carter on the field just because of the shenanigans they pulled. They had to put him on the field.
They had to put him on the field. They definitely had to put him on the field.
All right, so they're starting corners were Jamad McCoy. I think he's in the league right now, right?
Yeah, he's in the league,
right?
Yep. He's in the league.
Yep.
Okay, they drafted him. It looks like in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
4th round, 6 foot, 193 out of Tennessee. Drafted in the 4th round. Let's see who the other guy was. Ricky Gibson III. I haven't heard of him, but that's just because I don't follow Tennessee football.
Yeah, I don't nobody follow Tennessee football.
Where is he at? Okay, he transferred to play for Texas A&M, so he's at Texas A&M right now. Okay.
Well, yeah. After those guys, that year. After that year, a lot of guys left. The quarterback left. And so I think a guy like Ricky, he probably was told that Boo was coming and they was gonna play Boo, and you get what I'm saying. So he probably went ahead and went to Texas A&M. So, but it comes down to all I want is the best guy, the best level. I don't care how we get to it. I don't have any problem with. I mean, it's not even up to me, but you see what I'm saying. I'm just like, okay, now I feel like who is gonna play in the slot? Again, I feel like RJ. I feel like RJ can play in the slot. I seen somebody just say, well, maybe they'll move England to safety. I think it's easier to go to safety than it is to play corner. You see Patrick Peterson is a Hall of Fame cornerback. When he got toward the end of his career, they moved him to safety. Prime moved to safety when he went to Baltimore. He didn't play corner, he played safety. So I just think
you saying England like Coach Prime at 37 years old. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that is not what I'm saying. Just England. That's common saying that. Coach Dre is not saying that. I'm just telling you that it's easier. It's just easier to learn. I think it's easier. It's not as much work at safety as it is at corner.
Yeah, no. But this is a good debate. I know we were talking about trenches, but you know, Coach Dre.
I had to tell you. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you no lie. When I heard it on when he said it, I said, "Oh man, I sure hope Common ain't watching this." I know he is not. That is not what he wanted to hear.
No,
I know that is not what he wanted to hear, because I know we talked about him. You know, it would be disappointing if England wasn't on the field. So I was like, I know he didn't want to hear that. Yeah. Coach Prime say Boo going to be at corner.
I think England's going to end up being the starting nickel. When it's all said and done, I think he's going to end up being the starting nickel. But I think they're going to move him around in the secondary far as the nickel outside, depending on what the matchups may be. Solely depending on who Boo Carter matches up against. That's where England's going to be able to, whether he's going to play outside one. Where he's gonna play inside?
Hold on, Miss Lex. I'm not saying that. I know Tennessee got heck of fans. They just get on my nerve with that. Like when kids leave their school, all of a sudden they can't play football. And I just know I've noticed it. Like when they leave their school, oh man, he's terrible. They didn't do nothing for us. And I don't know what y'all excited for, because he ain't. I mean, they just tried to. They tried to dismantle my guy Boo when he left. So I know they got tons of fans. Old Rocky Top. Believe me, I'm engaged. Believe me, I know. I know all about them guys. Them guys get on your nerve. I'm talking about they think they're a lot better than what they is. So, but yeah, they're I just don't like the way that they do kids once they leave. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't even like it when we do. Like I try to get people to don't do that when kids leave from our school, because you don't know their circumstance. You don't know what they're going through. Matter of fact, now that we talk about it, man, prayers and thoughts to the young man. I forget what college it was that passed away the other day from, they say, apparent suicide. So and that's what I be trying to get y'all to understand. You don't know what these young men are going through. You don't know their mind frames, what they having to deal with at home, and all this other stuff. And for you to pile on, or you to talk trash about a young man that you have nothing, that you don't know, you gain nothing from talking bad about him, or any of that is just wrong. So so again, like you say, when kids decide to leave Colorado, hey, wish them the best. Hope they do well at their next stop, because maybe Colorado just didn't fit them.
No, Miss Lexi.
Yeah, no, but
Miss Lexi.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep talking about the trend, because I'm disturbed right now. I'm
go ahead. Now I'm gonna talk about Miss Lexi. Hey, Miss Lexi. Now we know you a
Coach
Georgia
Dre,
fan.
you got me.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, I knew it was going. I say, boy, that my boy is not finna like this at all. He gonna be like, what is they got? Yeah, I said my dog finna be on the computer.
Depth chart out the window, scheme out the window. What are we gonna play now? And who's gonna?
Well, I've been told you. I think we're gonna play. I think we're gonna play a number of defense. I think our base is gonna be the 4-2-5, but I think you're gonna see. There's no world where I don't see us not having all three of them linebackers on the football field when we playing, especially when we playing teams that's run. Like when you play a Utah, who we know gonna try to run the ball. Do we play BYU this year?
Hey, Miss Lexi, I already know that. I don't think other people know that, but I knew that. You know I know. If anybody know, I know that.
Yeah, we know. Miss Lexi, y'all. Hey, boy, I tell you, boy,
Sports trying to
Kirby.
cheer me up. He said, "Don't be sad, man. I'm distraught. I'm more than sad. I'm in despair."
Yeah, my boy's hurt over here because he feel like England. And again, when you look at England's numbers, yes, but again, you got to come in here and you. I think going into the spring, we will be honest. We thought it would be England and RJ because Creed, he sat behind the guys at Notre Dame, but sometimes
Yeah, he was young.
he was sitting behind guys that's pros like he was. It also helped. And so he was just waiting for his moment. And hey, this spring he just took well advantage of his moment. Every time the ball was in the air, pick, interception. He coming up hitting people, and that's summertime how it goes. And so, but again, we gonna get back to fall camp. And we'll be able to see. Like I say, I'm not giving up on England because I think he's a good ball player. But that's another thing you see coming when you go through and you look at this thing. You notice they'll say, "Hey, he played in all 13 games, but he only started this many games." So it comes back to what we talked about last week. It don't matter about if you start or not. It's about who finishes. You get what I'm saying? Because just because you start don't mean especially on the defensive line. When I really looked at that was my biggest thing is look at all these guys have played in all the games. They might not have started all the games, but they've played in all of the games. And so I don't want us as fans and us as on this show to get caught up in who's starting.
I ain't going. Hey man, y'all gotta stop this shit. Y'all gotta stop this, man.
Man, come on, man. You tripping now. I ain't going that hard.
We had a couple questions out the chat. I just want to make sure we get them answered. Can we
Go
stop
ahead.
the run? That's the question. Can we stop the run?
I mean, yeah, I think we can.
We know we're gonna stop the pass because we got Boo Carter shutting down one half of the field, so we got that problem under hand. So you got to run the ball now.
But again, I think that might be again, guys. We laughing, but I think in Coach Prime mind, he's not Travis, but I got a guy that I feel like can handle one end. And so now, Coach, because from what I seen during the spring, Coach Marion had a lot of blitzes going on. I liked that what I saw in his blitz package. So do I think we're gonna stop the run? It depends on what we get up front. But I think we can because I think we got supreme linebacker play. And so with that being said, yeah, I believe we'll be able to stop the run. I do believe that we'll be better. Actually, I know we'll be better than we were last year stopping the run. So yeah.
Hey, linebacker play, we're definitely better than last year. You ain't got to worry about that. We're definitely better. We definitely got true linebackers that can come downhill and make tackles. Just like the missed tackles that was just smack dead, you was right there in your face, and it's just you and the running back lined up in the hole, and you can't make that play. I don't think you see that this year. I just don't think you see that this year. But go ahead, Connor.
Oh yeah, I think we are going to be better than we were last year. We're definitely going to be better at tackling. Right, definitely got to be better at tackling. I think we have a chance to be a really good defense, but it's going to depend on that defensive line and them coming together and really playing as a unit. But I think we're going to be able to stop the run this year. I really like Randon Fontenette and Nateem Mitchell in run support. Either one of those guys, even though Nate isn't one of the biggest guys in the world, I still think you could bring him down in the box if you're trying to load the box and try to stop the run. I think Fontenette is played in big games, right? Vanderbilt, winning culture, captain. That's a guy I want in the run game. He's seen it all, right? I like a guy like Gideon Lampron in the run game. he's a run stopper, 100+ tackle season. I think he's ready to play that role. I think Coach Dre, you got Leona LaFau starting alongside him. I mean, that's a guy with big game experience, played at Texas. He's seen some SEC run games. He's going to be able to stand in there and stop the run. So I'm confident, man. I think we got a good combination of players with a lot of big game experience. We just got to get that front four to help us out.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so the other question that we got: Do y'all think any of the corners will jump in the portal as graduate students? The answer to that is a flat out no. I don't think nobody's going anywhere. I think we're set completely at the cornerback position. Where are you going? I mean, let's be real. Where are you going? Now, RJ did graduate. He can leave, but where are you going? What's gonna make sense where you can flat out just be like, hey, this is a better situation for me to go here than what the current situation I'm in now. So I think the answer is flat out no to that. But hey, Coach Dre, you got any words? Tom, you got any words?
That's the only, like you say, the only person that can leave right now is RJ Johnson. That's because he's the only guy that graduated. So RJ is the only guy that could leave because he's graduated. Everybody else, nobody else graduated. Oh, and Ben Finneson. Ben can leave if he wants in the DB room because he graduated. But nobody, and we
Oh,
know Ben's not going, and
Ben ain't going
We know
nowhere.
Ben's
You can
not.
wrap that on up.
So he's the only guy that could leave is RJ, and I don't believe he's going anywhere. So I think we said
No doubt. Mark's going to send blitzes from everywhere. Our defensive line was going to be in a gap scheme. Coach, how do you feel about Coach Marvin, his defense like abilities to call a game? So I know we haven't talked. Well, that's one part that we have not talked about. We've talked about the players, things like that, but we haven't talked about the actual true coaching piece that Coach Mar brings in, the way he likes to call a game.
well. That's because we haven't really seen it. We've seen it in practice and in scrimmages and stuff, and you saw it uh at the spring game. But a guy like me, what I did was I went back and I watched the Virginia Tech, some of the Virginia Tech games that he called. I definitely watched the one that he called against Georgia Tech, and he had great success uh, with the play calling that he had. Again, Coach Marv and his defense was not the problem at Virginia Tech, guys. They weren't. They were going out there playing lights out, and they just couldn't get any help on the offensive side of the ball. Uh, the one thing I liked it from Coach Marv that I saw was that he mixed up like Northside said, he mixed up some blitzes, some blitzes. I saw some corner blitzes, I saw a safety blitz. I seen him making the quarterback uneasy at times. And so I think that's always a good sign when your defensive coordinator is keeping the quarterback mind on him making the right read or making the right play, because if you don't, I'm going to make sure that we get there. And when you sending guys like Fontenette and Nate Boo Carter and those guys are coming, and when you send them linebackers and they get home, they're gonna hit hard. So again, I like the way from what I saw, but the biggest thing is I like the way he teaches the game of football. I like the way he commands respect, how detailed he is in every aspect of the game. I love all of that he brings to the table when he calls football. So I just like his leadership. And like I said, I like that Coach Rob's on as well. I don't believe Coach Rob did a bad job last year. I think we did a bad job of tackling like Common said. I think he dialed up some blitzes sometimes. We'd be right back there in the backfield and we just missed the tackle, man. So that's nothing you can blame on the coordinator. You got to blame that on the young man that's out there playing. So but no, I love what I see from Coach Mar. But like I say, my biggest thing with him is the way he teaches the game of football.
No doubt, no doubt. So, Colin, the question was asked, about the game planning from Coach Marv, right? How do you feel about his game planning, scheming it up, play calling?
Yeah, I think he likes to play. He's a very aggressive play caller. I think he's gonna take some risks, but we've only really, and I haven't watched a lot of his Virginia Tech game tape. But I've seen him call his defense against Brennan Marion, who likes to run the ball, and I think it's a very risk reward defense, right? When Brennan Marion has dialed it up and beat him, he's beat him big. So that would be my only thing. Is he gonna go into the season just being super aggressive like we've seen the little that we do get to see on well-off videos, where it's either they're making a play in the backfield or they're getting beat deep, or he's going to call more of a conservative defense until he sorts out what the offensive coordinator wants to do. So I like it because I like defensive football. I don't like boring football, right? If you're going to play defense, you might as well try to dominate your opponent. So, but I like his style. But I think it's a high risk, high reward type defensive play calling that he's been using all spring.
Hey, that's all we can ask for, right? Just continue. But it's been an amazing show, man. It's been a pleasure to be on with my brother, with our new guest. Now, I'm not even gonna count him guest. A new guy, right? That's on with us every Tuesday, Common. That he's gonna be around, y'all. He's gonna be around. So if y'all haven't did a favor, right? There is a link that's in the chat that goes directly to his channel. So when we get up off of here, make sure y'all go follow Common Said It Buffs. All right. If y'all can do us a favor, family. Y'all know we don't ask for much. We just ask, man, can y'all go ahead and give him a follow over there, right? Let's get him over 1,000. The goal is get him over 1,000 right now. So let's go get him over 1,000, right? Show some love because he's gonna be around. He's gonna be on the platform every Tuesday with me and Coach Dre from now until we say we don't have a show. So y'all stay tuned, man, because this is gonna be a lot. But Common, any last word before we get up out of here? Because you know Coach Dre, when he closes this thing out, he closes it out.
Yeah, for sure, man. So appreciate the show, fellas, man. Like you guys in the chat, appreciate the great conversation, the great engagement. I appreciate the opportunity to do this with you guys, man, making me a regular on the show. Hopefully I'm adding something to the conversation. People are already subscribing to the channel. So I think we're at 900 subs right now. So I appreciate everybody who's already subscribed and everybody who will. Just key takeaways from this conversation, man. I think a lot of these guys on the defensive line are stepping up in competition. I think they're going to benefit a great deal from going up against this offensive line, which I think Coach Dre said that Coach Prime said he believes that this is the best unit, right? Group of guys playing together on the field. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach Dre. So I think the defensive line is going to benefit from that. I named Ezra Christensen as my X factor, so I really hope they work out his eligibility issues. I love Santana Hopper, and I didn't talk much about this guy, Toby Anene, on the edge. I think he's also going to be both a run stopper and getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Little bit of depression I got to deal with when I get off the stream is that Boo Carter is DB1 and Creed Thomas is DB2. So we might have to come back and talk about that. But on the offensive side of the ball, I feel pretty good, man. I know some of y'all don't like that I didn't have Larry Johnson in my starting lineup. I think all of these guys are competing for a slot. There's nothing locked in. Like Rob and Coach Dre said, we got a two deep where I feel pretty good about any of those guys being the starter. So looking forward to summer workouts, looking forward to the content coming back. But every Tuesday, man, this is where you're going to find me. Hanging out with Rob the Man and Coach Dre. Appreciate y'all, fellas.
Man, again, it's been another great Tuesday night. Like you said, to get another face up here, and it's all about the brotherhood for me, guys. It's all about the camaraderie and the coming together and showing that, again, there's no jealousy out here for me and Rob. We willing to help anybody. We willing to work with people, and you get what I'm saying. I know everybody doesn't agree with the way that we go about business sometimes, but it's because of the simple fact is I live in this world. I understand that young men have real problems going on, and for you to get on here and bash somebody because you got a microphone, because you can say what you want to say. Well, what if somebody really dug into your life and came on here and blasted you and talked about you, just tell me how would you feel? So you have to take that into consideration. And so we gonna always try to uplift somebody again. We put a smile on your face tonight. I've done my job, because like I say, we just came in here, talked about the big boys tonight, the trenches, and because that's where you win and lose championships at, guys. Let's make no mistakes about it. That's where you win and lose championships. But we appreciate everybody that comes through. Like we say, go out and give my guy Comment a like and give him a subscribe so we can get him up to numbers, to everybody else in the chat, especially to our CU aunties, to our ladies. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go support them. We'll probably be back with their show on Wednesday nights with a couple of other ladies that doing great work out there in the content world. Miss Tony Talks Best. She's doing great work, and so we gonna do great stuff. So we just appreciate y'all stopping by. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to stop by here and rock with Rob the Man Media. And as I always say, if I send no ships out, no ships will come in. And if there's no contest, nobody can win. Games can't be won if they haven't been played, and prayers can't be answered if they haven't been prayed. I am the Don, Coach Drake. That is my guy, Common Sense, and that is my brother Rob the Man. This has been another Rob the Man Media Tuesday night, and we'll see y'all Friday night, man. Y'all come and check us out. God bless and good night.